If you ever decide to become a professional technician, there are three things I want you to focus on when you embark on the purchase of a toolbox, starting with the type of toolbox that you get. I personally prefer the bench type toolbox because it gives you a work surface. This one here is a one with a company called Homec, and this one here is an RS Pro 72 inch by 24 inch. Has 4 casters, which is what I wanted, with 2 rotating casters. And not only is it rubber on the caster, but it has grease fittings on the caster. Single lock. And the original design doesn't come with a wood top. You can get a metal top through Homec, but I ended up going with the wood top because, let's face it, folks, the eyes got to eat too, and your toolbox is your ambassador of what kind of a technician you are. Now, personally, I'm an airframe and power plant technician, and I went with this style toolbox because, like I mentioned earlier, I need a bench to work on, but it's also easier to roll under the wings of the aircraft instead of going all the way around. I did get it started with a tower at one point, but ended up graduating and evolving to a bench-like toolbox. So yeah, one of the reasons, if you go into becoming a professional technician, get yourself a bench toolbox. There are many companies out there that make it. I believe there is a company from Harbor Freight called General. They also make a bench, but I just decided to go with a Homec because at the time when I was looking for it, they met my criteria, which were single lock, bench, and 4 casters. Moving on, the next thing I want you to do when you should focus on when getting a toolbox is inventorying your toolbox. As a professional technician, you should make sure that your tools are shadowed. Now, I specialize in French aircrafts, and they have a metric nuts and bolts. So I have a metric on one side and I have standard on the other side. And as you can see, you have your regular 9/16 half inch, 7/16, 3/8, and different types of wrenches. All shadowed. Why shadowed? So you can easily inventory your tool by just opening a drawer and looking. You'll know right away if something is missing. For example, if I was to remove this wrench out of here, you would know right away that this wrench is missing. As you can see, a lot of the tools are inventory. I mean, they're shadowed. So you can easily just open your drawer, look in your drawer, make sure you have everything and nothing is missing. If you ever decide to become an airframe and power plant technician, this should give you an idea of what a professional technician should have is tools. Here we have all our torque wrenches, mirrors, thermometers, pressure regulators, sealing guns, spoons, punches, identifiers for nuts and bolts and thread counts. This is where I keep all my lights and two-way radios for communication with other technicians. This is where I have all my measuring tools and inspection tools, calipers, mirrors. You have your feeler gauge, magnifying lens, 90 degrees, magnifying lens, tape, and things, calculator and scribe. This is where I keep my cutting tools, files, X-Acto knives, and things of that nature. This is where I keep my sheet metal tools, bucking bars, and air hammers, and all the fittings and whatnot. Pencil grinders. This is where I keep orbital sanders, another 90-degree pencil grinder over here, air hoses, fans, nut packs, pliers, extension cords. Then you have your personal drawer. This is where I keep my personal stuff, such as staplers and pens and whatnot. This is where I keep smaller tools, such as bits and fittings for hydraulic systems and things of that nature. Voltmeters, electrostatic discharge, wristbands, This is where I keep all my hammers. And this is where I keep all my miscellaneous tools, such as gas masks and extension cords and things like that. So yeah, this is the second thing when you want to become a professional technician, you should be thinking about. And the third and final thing is your identifiers. Each one of these tools has a personal identifier, such as in this case, I have a random 4 numbers on it with initials on it that would identify these tools to me. And each and every one of these tools has an identifier on it. So a bench toolbox, shadow your toolboxes so that it's properly easily inventoried, so that you know when you're done with a job and you move on to the next job, you literally just have to open the drawers and you automatically know whether something is missing or not. And then place an identifier on your tools so that everyone knows that that's your tool and your tool only, because you're going to have people that have tools just like you, and if they're missing it, obviously you don't want them to take your tools. Also, because I'm in aviation business, if a tool is left behind on an aircraft, I would be identified as the person that left the tool behind, which is important in this line of work. I also personally have a service cart. This is where I have all my consumables, safety wires, tapes, and things like that. And whenever I have a job, I put all my tools for that job on top of here. And this is usually where I keep all my paperwork and the clean work area. And I like to keep my toolbox clean because, this toolbox is the ambassador of the kind of work that I do and the kind of personality that I am. Now, as far as home ec goes, my only sticking point with home ec is these things here. They come off. But other than that, this toolbox is phenomenal. It has a single lock. You can open the door. You can open the drawer from any place. Yeah, it's a nice setup. So there you have it, folks. If you ever decide to become a professional technician, definitely recommend this style toolbox. Shadow your tools and put an identifier on them so that it identifies them as yours. And that is it. If you guys like this video and it was helpful to you, like and subscribe for more videos like this. Until then, we'll see you next time and for other video. Take care, guys. Thanks.